Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-host Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight, we are reviewing Bloody Hell, which is coming out, which has come out. It is out.
It is out. It is out. Is it on VOD?
It's on VOD now as we are recording. So we'll be talking about this. What we're going to do is give our first impressions, and then we're going to talk about the film for a little bit, and then we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. You want to stick around for that because that is a lot of fun. But let me introduce the rest of the crew, starting off with Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl. I know I'm setting up the order.
I wasn't ready. I was like, you just ruined it. Hi. How's it going? I'm so good. I'm really excited about this movie. I'm too excited.
So for those who can't see, you have the picture up behind you of our star.
God, he's so good. Look at that face. That looks like real anguish. And you know whose hand that is? That's his own hand.
Well,
are you sure that's a picture? Oh, yeah.
As opposed to what?
All right.
Somebody you have strung up in your dungeon, you know.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's a valid question. Sure, that's fair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present Jeff Mohr.
Yay!
Doodles. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. This is fun. This is
the strangest introduction we've ever done. I'm so happy we're off our game. All right, let's talk about the movie. Bloody Hell, one hell of a fairy tale, and that's not it's not far from the truth at all. It's available January 14th, 2021 from the Horror Collective. So look out there, VOD and on demand, maybe in a theater somewhere. I'm not certain. Director Alister, Grierson. Writers Robert Benjamin. The cast includes Ben O'Toole, Meg Fraser, and Caroline Craig. The synopsis is: a man with a mysterious past flees the country to escape his own personal hell, only to arrive somewhere much, much worse. Bloody hell! All right, that is what we are reviewing tonight. I can't wait to hear what you think. Jeff, since I did the old switcheroo, we'll do the switcheroo back. You're up first. What is your first impression of Bloody Hell, dude?
Well, it strikes me that there's like this whole subgenre of horror films coming out of Australia that you could call "What the hell is going on?" I mean, you could go all the way back to Deathgasm.
I love Deathgasm.
Turbo Kid, and what we do this year, last year, Two Heads Creek or Crick, if properly stated. So now here we have Bloody Hell, and I don't know about you guys, but it's supposed to take place in Finland. But I'm here listening to the people talk Finnish, and I'm going, "Oh, that can't be what that sounds like." There's a little bit of information there. They were actually trying to do it phonetically. It was Australian actors that were trying to say the Finnish phonetically.
Actually, that's awesome.
It is, but it just sounded funny to me. But yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. I don't want to give anything away, but it's bloody. It's schizophrenic. It's or no, maybe that's not the right one.
That might work.
Yes. So what is it?
That totally works.
DID or dissociative
identity disorder, yeah.
That or and then I don't know. Throw in a little. We just did. Oh no, we are what we eat kind of thing. Anyway, it's just crazy. And it's 90 miles an hour, and it's a fun romp. I had a great time watching this. And Ben O'Toole from Necrotronics is awesome.
Oh, that's what he was. Okay, I didn't look him up, but I was like, he looks familiar.
Yeah, yeah. He's great in these parts like this. So anyway, I love this. It was funny. It was fun. It was action packed. It was good acting. Crazy stuff. Finland. Oh my God.
Excellent. That sounds great. Let's find out what Crystal thought. Crystal, what is your first impression of Bloody Hell?
I think I'm totally might be in love with Ben O'Toole.
Uh-oh.
He is so good in this. Like, I just can't tell you how much I enjoyed this movie. I don't know what formula or what it is about this movie. I couldn't pinpoint anything that I love more than something else. That's how much I like this movie. I think the writing is super clever. It's really funny. I mean, they even make the reference of Big Trouble in Little Finland. I mean, they've got puns. It's insane. It's insane. So I won't spoil anything, but I will say that he has a traveling companion that is basically his inner monologue. And I think that is absolutely what saved this movie, because what's going on in this movie is absolutely awful and horrible, and you wouldn't be able to handle it without that. That is what makes everything so lighthearted and makes it palpable. His acting is just so good. I love how he plays both parts just so perfectly. It's just a riot. And the way that the story even starts is just what happens to him is a little ridiculous and sad, considering he's really kind of a hero. But turns out, everyone kind of sees him as a villain type. I mean, it is just, there's scene after scene after scene that I just found really funny and enjoyable. And all these weird blonde people in Finland, I guess as it were just really pretty weird and creepy, and it reminded me of like the Village of the Damned or something. It's just, there's so much to it. I mean, they even make he has the line like, well, a vegan is like a person, and it's just so, I just died. I mean, they didn't even have to finish it, and it was just good the way it was. And I have to tell you that this movie even finished really strongly. I couldn't handle it. I was like, I died. I had to pause this movie because I laughed so hard.
I enjoyed this movie quite a bit too. It actually surprised me. I wasn't sure what we were going to get. The trailer set up something, and it delivered everything it promised in the trailer, but it really delivered a lot more. Ben O'Toole is absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see more stuff from him, and he does have two roles, sort of, and it is he's brilliant in both of them, and it's a physical performance, it's a comedic performance, there's a lot going on here, and it is so much fun. Like you said, Meg Fraser plays Aaliyah, who is one of the Finnish blonde crew. The Finnish Chainsaw Massacre people. They and she's quite good too. Matter of fact, everybody's really, really good in this, and just where they go with this is so sudden. And just like how the hell do you get all that? And it's like the setup, right? It's like the second act begins with this, okay, whoa, what are you gonna do? And it is so much fun. I really, really like this movie. I can't believe we're 20 days as we're recording into the new year, and January has not disappointed movie-wise. There have been a number of really strong films and TV shows, if you want to count 30 coins, that really have knocked my socks off. This is a good film.
This might be my number one. This will probably be my number one.
Hmm.
I I can't even believe I cannot really find anything to complain about. Like, I can always find little nitpicks of little things. I thought his foot looked really good. I'm a little bothered by the fact that I liked it so much. That's how much I liked it. I'm like, it's so good. It's so funny. It's so witty. It's so clever. It's everything is done. It's silly. It's stupid. It shouldn't be this good. But it's not Velocipaster level ridiculous. It holds itself back, but just enough. It's just like a little icing on that cupcake. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it helps that it's such a physical performance from him, like I mentioned earlier, because he really does bring so much to it.
The foot, that was
The whole thing.
so dumb. I was like, wait, is that his foot? I mean, are you kidding me? Really?
How are we doing that? What's funny? I mean, okay, so but the picture behind Crystal, for those who can't see, is basically Tool is Rex, and he's chained up by his hands, and he's in that position for a third of the movie, maybe
Easily, yeah.
Right, and it is what he has to do and go through during that. It's just like, how can when I what he's doing, like when he's trying to kick that one guy, and it's just like it's so hilarious. Yeah, and Meg Fraser also has some very funny moments, like when the family darts off to the hospital and she's in the bed and she goes from I know it's just like you really get it. I mean, they do the great things the script should do. Things that we see early on come back around. We'll just say the sharp instrument that comes out of the refrigerator. We'll just put it that way.
Wait. What about this? Insatiable. Wait, how she's like, he's like, well, your English is very good. I mean, it's insatiable, but and then it's always the T's with whatever she's pronouncing. It's just silly, but it's very clever and cute and witty, and I think it's good, guys. Like, I am really impressed. It's really, at its core, it's a really simple movie if you really just like start to break it down. But what I liked about his character is that they gave you all this backstory. You know that he was, in the military. You know that he obviously is a fighter because of what happened in the bank and stuff. So I guess it helps sell you on what his character does throughout the movie. And I totally bought it.
I did too. So what's interesting, well, I mean, I guess we kind of have to say it. I mean, it's in the trailer, so it's not a surprise. But the scene in the diner early on when we're first meeting him, and all the paparazzi are around taking the picture of him because he's kind of famous, right? Because he just got released out of jail for 8 years after this bank robbery gone wrong that he intervened in. Not a part of, but it was intervened, and it just went awry. But anyway, he reveals that he's talking to himself, but his self has a persona, and it's a different version of him played by Ben O'Toole, and it's the the cutting between the two characters being in the same scene or talking to each other is done extraordinarily well, and the differences between them are so subtle but so different. It's really
he has a little voice change too. So he
it does a really good job of that.
Yeah, it's part body language, it's part expression. As you can see in the picture, like the physical one has a little bit more of a a scrunched brow, and the other one's a little bit more a little more relaxed and comedic. But it just really works, and it introduces you to the concept so well that you're ready for the whole thing, for the entire film. And there are times when I'm like, what is going on? What's all this thumping around the house? What is going on?
Oh my God, the golf club. Oh my God.
And all like when they see the it's also really visually really cool. Like when they see the bikes and they put it all together.
Yes,
right?
It's a family. It's so.
But this shows where I was at, like when he's with the golf club and while he's making noise, I'm like going, why didn't he leave the club cover on?
It's just
I'm like thinking, anyway.
What a choice! Oh, totally. I was like, what? Why? Why was that your choice? But it was just, I didn't even care. It was so funny. It was just ridiculous. It's like, I'm like, oh my God. And then when he, see, I don't want to give anything. You can't give anything away, but God, it is.
It's almost, I mean, we would literally have to spend an hour and a half here to give everything away. There's every second has something. I mean, and they even pull a SpongeBob. 23 minutes later.
Yes. Yes. And I do that all the time at home. I'm like, 3 minutes later. I love so much about this. I mean, it's so good. Yeah.
Well, I think you might be the president of the Ben O'Toole fan club now.
Maybe. And Necrotronic, I liked him and I liked the movie. You know, we reviewed that one as well. So if you want to, you can go back and check that one out. And you should actually check out the movie because it was totally worth checking out. But he really kicked booty in this one. Like, his performance was just so well done. Really, so well done. Even in the car at the end where he's just like, you know, he just showed all the emotions so well.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the writer and director who made this. I don't recognize any of the other films or shorts. Welcome to Acapulco. That's such a generic name. Who knows what that's up? And then that was the writer. Then the director. I don't recognize anything the director did either. I'm sure they're good. Sanctum
apparently Sean Byrne wanted to direct this. The guy that did what was the name of that? Devil's Candy. And back then. But he didn't. There wasn't enough time to do the amount that he thought he needed for prep. He backed away from it. But this is because he liked the script so much. So that tells you something there.
Yeah, the script is that good.
It really is. It really is. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Let's give our final thoughts. Our score 1 to 5 or 1 to 5, whichever way it should go. We'll do it. And also our favorite scene. If you are still listening, we want to start off by saying thank you. And you could do something that would help us out. It's real easy. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. Or you can hit the like button. Even that would do. Or dislike button. That would still do. If you share, that would even be better. And if you've seen this film, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave some comments down below. And for those who have been leaving comments, we read them all and we love them. Thank you so much. Even those that still give us a hard time, we love that too. Not to invite it.
Oh, I love a hard time.
What? Oh.
Why are you giving us a face?
I said I love a hard time.
All right, let's do this. Let's give our final thoughts. Our score, 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Crystal, you're up first. Give it.
I'm sorry. We're switching it. We're switching.
I'm going rogue.
Yeah. So you have to watch this movie. It's so brilliant. It's so, as long as you love. I know some horror lovers out there don't like horror comedies, which blows my mind. But if you do, you must see this movie. It is so wonderful. I actually think I'm going to order it because I don't want to miss the chance to watch it again. I liked it that much. Oh, God, here we come down to. Well, yeah, I know you put me on the spot because I'm thinking of doing something that I've never done in all my gruesome podcasts, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to give this a 5.
What?
Yeah. I've never given a movie a 5. And I guess it had to come at some point. I just really can't pick out anything I feel was detracted or took away from. Even the stuff that doesn't make sense does make sense. And if I can't find anything wrong with it, then, well, yeah. What am I gonna do? It's so good.
I
mean,
first, ladies and gentlemen, first.
I don't. Okay, this is the hard part, though. Actually, the whole movie could be my favorite scene. That's how much I liked it. There's moments that had me laugh out loud all throughout the silly, stupid movie. Like it's. And I'm going to go with something that's kind of silly and a little bit trite, but it totally worked for me and was really, really funny and very immature. And the way Ben delivered it just killed me. And I'm only going to say the line that he says, and you'll probably get it. You should get it. But it was, she started it. I died. I literally, I stopped the movie and I'm like, oh my God.
It's almost throwaway.
It's ridiculous. It makes me want to cry. I was like, that's so dumb. Like, she started it. And I'm yeah.
Jeff Mohr, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score, your favorite scene.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to see this. And I'm just having the Australian filmmakers. I don't know if they all know each other or not, but they sure got a thing going. That's
we've liked them all.
Yeah, I just look forward to them. I'm going 4.5. And favorite scene, that's also a tough one without giving something away. So I'm going to say the opening bank robbery scene, because it probably wasn't funny to everybody, but I was laughing my ass off when that person laughed. I'm like, first he's like, is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Oh, then she takes it and gives it to the bad guys. And then soon it just falls in his lap.
It's like it was meant to be.
And that told me right away, that whole scene tells you exactly what the movie's gonna be like.
Yep.
And I also like the fact that they double back around. You don't get the whole thing at first. It's later that you find out.
Yeah. Well, I love this movie too. We almost didn't get to see it, so I want to thank Shake for coming through for us.
So good.
What a surprise! What a joy! I watched this late. And I was so wired after watching this, it was hard to go to sleep. This movie's a riot. And it is very much a horror film. It is, Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the funny bone and a lot of other hijinks going into it as well. And it's, Ben O'Toole's great in this. He really is. And the director did a great job too. The visual setup is fantastic, and the editing is fantastic too. I mean, this movie is you might overlook how well edited this movie is, because a lot of the comedy is timing, how it's edited together, and it's so well done, and the dialogue and everything. And so I'm giving it 4.75. How you like that?
Yeah.
It is definitely going to be top 10 material. Probably going to be top 5 material by the end of the thing, but I
hate being the low score. I better go watch it again.
I know you got to watch. But 20 days into the new year, and I've already got 4 or 5 films I want to talk about at the end of the year, and I'm like, that isn't going to work. How is that happening? It's either going to be a fantastic year, or the rest of the year's going to suck balls.
Poop. Yeah.
So
your favorite scene?
I gotta give you a favorite scene, and my favorite scene. Oh my! Okay, you've heard of foot and mouth disease?
Yeah.
I thought of that too.
Oh, hey, I've never realized that statement quite like this particular movie does, and it's just so. And okay, so before that scene, there's like this little fantasy.
Oh, yes.
That mirrors somebody else's fantasy intercut, and it's just so out there and bizarre. Yes.
The hills are alive.
So as soon as I saw what that was, I was like, oh, okay, I know how this is going to end. I didn't know exactly, because it still surprised me how it went about. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm in for this. This is good.
So did you notice, IMDb is never wrong, but it says this is intended as the first of a trilogy.
What? Yeah!
I will say that my second...
That was like the worst dance ever.
Yeah, it was. My second choice could have been our little stinger that we had with Aaliyah. Aria.
Yeah.
Oh.
The little dinner scene.
Yeah.
Because of what it implies. So it's just...
right.
I just really like it. Anyway, there you go. That's our review for Bloody Hell. It is out on VOD and on demand now as we speak. As you're listening, I don't know when you're listening, so maybe if you're listening later, it's already on Shudder or something. It may be out that way.
You think?
I think it's on Amazon right now.
Amazon Prime?
Yeah, for a few dollars, not much.
Okay, so it's VOD.
Worth it, definitely worth it.
So seek it out, and let us know what you think. All right, Jeff, Crystal, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Doctor.
Let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Gruesome Magazine.